Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Welcome, as always, my lovely audience. And today, we're going to be doing painting. Specifically, painting Warhammer figures and a Hellblaster Marine. Space Marine. And we are going to be doing up his plasma, making it look nice and fancy and glowy, almost. Or as best we can, anyway. This is what we have as a reference. I've done this one before. It's been a while since I've done this particular. Anyways, let's get back to that. The first thing we are going to want to do is we're going to want to apply a nice layer of just plain old orange onto the model. We want to take our second brightest orange that we have here, this one, and we're going to just put it all over the coils of the plastic cup. So we just take a nice little, actually we're just going to be using like the two smallest and finest brushes we have here today, really. No need for extravagance. Three smallest brushes, rather. So we're just going to take this one here. Shake up the pot of paint, because you always got to do that. You always have to shake up the paint. Okay. There we go. Pop it open. Take this off. And we're... Oh! Top of the paintbrush came off. It's kind of funny. Although not good, because that means it's basically lived out its life in a lot of ways. It's an old brush that I have. Almost... It's like 5 or 6 years old now, so... If it goes soon, it goes soon. That would be quite unfortunate. But... it is what it is. So we're just going to put that orange down. Water it down a little. So that way it's... Get two thin layers. As St. Duncan, the painter, once said. 2 thin layers, not 2 thick layers. And we're just going to carefully apply it into like all the ridges where the paint is, like so, just slowly and smoothly. Come on now. Carefully. Carefully. This is just a nice, relaxing way to start off your morning, don't you think? Or go to bed, if you want. I don't particularly care what you do when you're watching my streams. As long as you're not, like, committing a crime or something, come on. But... I'm just gonna carefully paint over it. So that's the first layer of it done. See, we kind of didn't really get that area well. Let that sit for a moment. Now, that's the thing about like doing really delicate operations like this one, or delicate painting things, is you have to be really careful with it. Let it dry and then put on the next layer. If you try to do it too quickly, too fast, it'll just build up, it'll get wet, the layers will mix with each other, and then it won't look nice and smooth, which isn't what you want. You want a nice, smooth coating effect. So we're just going to let this sit for a moment. Ah, got paint on my fingers. Just a bit, caught it with my two fingers like that, right between them. Okay, it looks like it's dried out, mostly. Means we can then put on the next layer. Because the thing is, we want this to be bright. We want people to know exactly what this... We want this first layer to be bright. We want it to be obvious that this is a bright orange. Bright, fiery orange. We just can't make it quite too fiery on the first step, otherwise it's just not gonna work when we try to pull off the rest of the effect. Just gonna go along the ridges like so, instead of painting down the center. That'll make sure that we cover all the coils, instead of just the insides of the coils. Like there, carefully. It's okay if we get it on the gun casing itself. That's not what we're worried about. So we need to let that dry off, and then we'll get the back a bit more. And we can always clean up the gun casing later. See, the gun casing here has the bits, so it doesn't matter if we get any paint on it at the moment. Heyo, hello, welcome. We're just doing a chill little painting stream. Making some guys with plasma guns. Just a bit more here on this back layer. Getting those raised coils. Okay. So that's that. We've now established our base coating of plasma. That's the base orange that we have. So next, what we're going to do is a very long, extensive, and tedious process, but it is. Well, I hope the rest of your shift goes well. Take care. Good luck with work. Take care getting home after work. Glory to mankind. Glory to mankind is more of a Nier Automata thing, isn't it? I haven't played the games, but that's what I know it. That's what I know that catchphrase from in particular. Okay. Now we just work paint cleaner into the brush, as always. Paint soap, the brush soap. Gotta clean it all out nice and tidy. Now here's where I'm not sure what I want to do exactly, because there are three separate routes I can go with this. I'm not sure exactly how I want to do it. So, number one is to do it like I did with this guy, and have there be a bright a yellow at the bottom. Number two is I use a brighter orange, like this one. Number three is I use white, is I use white and place that down as the bottom of the coils. Now, whatever I pick, I'm going to have to stick with for the rest of the paint, because I can only use one of the three. I think I'm going to go with the brighter, this is actually really tricky. I think I'll go with the brighter orange. Okay, so here's where things are going to get complicated. First, we want to take out the teeny tiny brush with the fine point. Next, shake up the orange. Take a little bit of orange, place it down on the painting palette. It's already pretty watery, but it's not quite what we're looking for. So we're going to wash off that immediately. Clean off the brush very well. Like so. Dry it off. And now we use this. Lamy medium. Should we just take a bit of it? And we mix it in. Just gonna put that on the palette. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna mix it and the orange together to make a orange glaze that'll just go on really smoothly and tint the bottom rather than although methinks I might have used a bit too much medium. Maybe. But if I did, that's okay. Everybody makes mistakes when painting sometimes. So we just carefully mix that all together. So now it's nice and it's a very nice liquid state. That'll flow into the recesses. So now what we do is we just take the guy, carefully apply it to the bottom like so. And as you can see, I was not being careful, and now I've got it like there. But we can always just go back and fix that later. So we just want to carefully just feather a little bit of this in there, like so. Truthfully, I don't even know if you can tell the difference at the moment, but there's a slight difference in tone there. Maybe a bit more so here. I don't know if my camera's picking up on it, quite frankly. Yeah, it is, just barely, just barely. You can see the difference in color some. Hit the bottom of the coils again after it's dried out, because it's a very thin thing, so it dries out very easily. Okay. Now then, next step is a darker red, wild rider red. And that's going to go on the top of the gun. Top of the plasma gun. And dry off the painting brush. That's not the one I need, this one. So this one goes to the top of the gun. It's going to go into the coils to show where it's cooled down some, because it's not at the bottoms where the heat is. So kind of the same procedure as last time. Take the red, the darker red, plop it down. Clean off the brush, like so. Ever so carefully. Dry it off. Make sure you still have your point. Then put in some Lamia medium and mix for glaze. So just put that down there and then oh, clearly I didn't get as much Wild Rider red as I needed because it's too much liquid, not enough paint. Fortunately, that is a very easily solved problem. Like so. Carefully brush and clean up the brush. Dry it off. Make sure your brush still has a point to it. Just take a bit of your little mix there. Just go into the crevasse at the top and just start smoothly putting it in to all those little crevices. Try to avoid the coil tops if you can, but if you can't, that's fine because we're gonna go back and handle that later. Just get the just get the tips of the inside there. Carefully like that inside of the channels. Ever so smoothly. There we go. Be careful with your brush. See, the issue with the Hell Blaster compared to a Rig Glue Plasma Gun, compared to a Skitarii Plasma Gun, which is what I'm used to painting, is that these ones are much more temperamental. Because the Shallows Skitarii excuse me. Skitarii plasma guns are more rounded and they have longer, deeper channels, while these are much shorter, smaller channels that are more squarish, which makes it more difficult to get a nice blend, as it were. Clean off the brush. Now then, for our next step, we're just going to go back to our Troll Slayer orange, our medium orange. We're going to take it, put it down, add some water. Oh. That was just silly of me. Take it, add some water, thin it down. Carefully, only going over the tops if I can. Going to want to hit up just the coils, which, as you can see, is not going very well indeed. You just want to try and create like a middle area for this. Between the two distinct colors. Just ever so carefully. Then, for our next trick, another thing of bright orange at the bottom. This one this one even thinner than the last. Do this quickly now because that paint, we didn't take a whole lot of it and it's going to dry out quick. Carefully dry out the brush. And now, allow me medium. Just the bit that I need to make a thin liquid with it. And then, once again, to the breach. Carefully feather it into the little channels. Just into the corners as well if you can. Like so. Okay, now we're almost done. I'm gonna let that dry a little. This is the bit that really makes it stand out. Because right now we just kind of have a bright orange thing with a little bit of darker at the bottom and brighter at the top. Red. I'm gonna take a darker red than what we've been using before. Oh. Hold on a second. Let's see if I can get to revive this. Right now it's just a solid block. See if there's anything left in here to revive. Not, I'll have you use a different color and shift everything over by one. Shake, 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 shake. Shake, 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 shake. How's it looking? Nope. Okay, the red is dead. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this base red here. This is still good, right? Yeah, this is still good. I'm just gonna fix my brush as well because that's not the point that it needs to be in. Just carefully, carefully, carefully shake it up. Yep, now just take some red, put it on, water it down. Sure you only have just a tiny amount on your brush. Just a minuscule amount. You can do this very delicate. You want to just brush up against the top of the coils like that. Want to leave tiny little dots of red. This is the bit that makes or breaks the plasma effect right here, is the red. Carefully, ever so carefully. And now with that darker contrast, the bottom seems much brighter, doesn't it? It's not the best plasma I've done, that's for certain, but it's definitely a good coming back point and a good place to start. I messed with my thing a little, as you know, probably noticed. I didn't use the yellow. Instead, I decided to see what would happen if I used a brighter orange. The answer is it makes the effect a little less pronounced, which is unfortunate. But hey, that's how it is. Sometimes you take a chance on a new painting technique and it doesn't work out well. New paint scheme. So what I think I'm going to do with it is I'm going to just throw a little, I'm just going to grab some yellow really quick and throw that at the bottom and see how that goes. After I clean off my brush, of course. Brush cleaning. Don't skip it once. It'll keep your brush alive and good for so much longer if you do. Do it. Dry off the brush. Dry off my hand. See, now we have a bright yellow. We're just going to take that, shake it up. Bop, bop it up. Shake it up. Shake it up. It is gonna hey, and the tweet is gonna take. Baby, I'm just gonna shake, 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 shake. I'll shake it off. I'll shake it off. And my yellow is dead too. My bright yellow is dead too. That is fun. Okay. Clearly I need to go later. Go through my paint collection, determine which of my paints are dead, and deal with that. Okay, so in that case, other way of making things seem super bright, white. Let's see what happens if we throw a tiny bit of white at the bottom of this, because I don't know really. White is typically what you do at the bottom if you're making like a blue plasma gun. But you want to make a bright blue plasma gun, you do white at the bottom, and then you work your way from darker, from an electric blue to like a greenish blue. But we can't do that here now, can we? Nope. Maybe next time I'll try and make a yellow plasma gun. That might be interesting. Because yellow is... Of course, actually, I need more yellow first. Because apparently my good yellow is out. Because it's dried up completely. Because of course it has. So the white already has a very thin consistency. We're going to avoid taking too much of the medium here to thin it out and change its consistency. Just dry it off. Like so. And now, just a little bit of medium. Just a little bit, not a lot. Mix it up together. Get a nice little glaze going. Now we'll just yeah, no, that's not working. Mm-mm. That's not. It's only 8:42 where I am. It's only 8. It's almost 9 where I am, Gem, and currently I'm streaming because I don't have class till 1. Because I'm a college student. So I woke up early and I'm like, you know what? I can set up all my streaming stuff for painting. So I did. And you can't stop me. Fire bright orange. We're going to apply that back over the white that we foolishly applied. That's worse. Look, I woke up, I ate breakfast, and I was like, well, I can paint. I have time. And so I'm doing that. I woke up at 6. I couldn't go back to sleep. I'm like, well, I'm not going back to sleep. Might as well paint. There was a time and an opportunity, and so I did it. And noodle. Just put the orange back on. Same process we've done a couple times now. Orange, paint. Gotta get that nice brush soap. Brush soap. Good brand. Hashtag not sponsored. Or whatever, but I don't know. Anyways, it's a good brand of brush soap. Keeps your brushes nice and clean. Would recommend. I got 2 of them for like $10. And they've lasted me over 6 years now? No, they've lasted me 4 years now, so, you know. And I'm still going through my second one. Or I've only just started using my second one, rather. Brush soap, very good. Would highly recommend if you don't want to goof up your brushes. And maybe not even this brand, maybe another one, but if you don't take care of your brushes won't take care of you. Brush soap is the way to go. Okay, and now we've got our Lamy medium mixed with our orange. So now it's a very nice thin liquid. We're just gonna cover up that white wherever it was, like so. There we go. Still, that is irritating. Like, 2 of the paints I was going to use today turned out to not be good. But whatever. And you know what? I've technically finished with the plasma bit, but I don't feel like stopping. So, let me grab a specific paint. And let me grab a couple more paints, and we shall continue our little adventure in painting a plasma gun. So we need silver. We need... oh, where is it? Not Fenrisian gray. And it's stratum gray, no. Here it is. I don't even remember what this one's called. Is there anything else I'm gonna pull out? Well, while I'm at it, might as well pull out the huge body bone. Get the backpack and the knees and all that fun stuff. So first, we're gonna shake up. We're gonna do the gun casing first. So for that, we're gonna shake it up. Shake up our gray, our bluish gray. I will never get that song out of my head for as long as I paint and have to shake paints. Yeah, you gotta shake it up real nice and good because it's a gray that is very finicky. Okay, there we go. Yep, that looks right. Just thin it down just the tiniest bit. And now we apply it to the gun casing. So, just carefully all around. Give the gun a facelift. Wait, no, that's not what we're doing. Put this, being very careful around the plasma that we've just taken time to paint. Carefully. It doesn't matter if we get the metal bits because we can get those next. Same with like the fingers. And naturally, of course, it's going to take 2 coats because it always does. Especially for a white. Whites are notoriously fickle paints. Especially if they're official Games Workshop brand paints, which they are, because I was a foolish child who bought the official paints even though they kind of sucked. So now we're just gonna keep on applying it. Just working our way through the gun. Yep. There. Top here. And note the actual bits of the gun right there are not going to get touched. Except for the stock. Stock right there gets a little coat. Just carefully painting around it. There we go. I need like music or something for my painting streams. Both for myself and for you all. Then again, maybe you don't want that. I don't know. Maybe you like just having a calm, chill dude carefully making his way across a model while telling you what he's going to do next. I don't really know. Because I can't see myself at this moment. Or I can, but I don't know. I'm not a viewer at the moment. I'm the producer. I'm the maker of the stuff, not the consumer. Ooh, I think I'm using a different white because this one's much whiter than the one that's on my other guy. Which is interesting because that means I don't remember what my actual white color is. Or my bluish gray. Hmm. Curiosity upon curiosities. But I have to say, my brush control's gotten a lot better than it used to be. Because my white is actually looking nice and kinda smoothish. Which is a first for me. Not on this bit though, this bit's just not going well. It's too liquidy. Too much of it and it's too liquidy. Carefully applying it on. There we go. That's actually that's actually kind of bright white. No, it's on there. I'm taking a nice slow look at it. I mean, come on. Take a look at that. Keep on going. Not the smoothest white I've ever seen, but it's the smoothest white I've ever made myself see. I've ever made myself, I think. Actually, I'm really happy with this. I'm glad I tried to do it. This is a great way to start off my morning. Just making myself a happy little white plasma gun casing. Take that off. Now just boop, boop, ba-doop. Skibbity boop ba-doop. There we go, and now we're just going to get the tip of this gun here so we can clean off that orange. And clean up the bits that are supposed to be metal that turned out to not be metal messed with them some. Just applying the paintbrush, paint cleaner, the brush cleaner. There we go. Ba-da, ba-da-ba-da-da-da-da. Now then, take some lead belcher, shake it up. Like so. Just shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Take a little bit. Put it on. Water it down a little. And just get all the tiny little bits that should be metal that now aren't. Make them nice and shiny again. Inside here. Specifically that tiny little bit of the gun right there. That little bit right there. The inside of here. This thing. The fingers, because that's a very important thing to be metal and not white. Get the little, I don't know, ammo revolver thing right here. I don't know what it's called. Get that heating coil maybe? I don't know all the parts of a Hellblaster plasma gun. That's not my field of expertise. Alright, well, that's looking real nice right there, I think. Not perfect, of course. Never is, but I have to say, that is one nice looking gun in my opinion. So with that, I think I'm gonna take us off. After I clean off my brush, of course. So then, oh, pardon that. That was it's my 9 a.m. alarm. Wake up if you're not already awake. So, with that in mind, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Thank you, as always, my lovely audience, for coming. Wherever you are in the world, take care.